start off our ankle mobility, we're going to do a little test to see whereabouts we are. Now keep in mind, I don't have very good ankle mobility, okay? So this is a good test for me, and things that I'm going to be showing you, if you're doing this, probably is going to represent accurately what you're seeing too, okay? So we want to see how much ankle mobility into dorsiflexion we have. So that dorsiflexion is how far we can bend our ankle that way. It's really important to be able to bend our ankle that way, so when we do squats, we can get down into a good position. But also, when we are landing a jump, we have to be able to absorb that landing and go back up. So, you're gonna need a wall. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our toe up against the wall, and we're gonna see if we can get our knee to the wall while we're keeping our heel on the ground, and our toes are straight forwards, okay? That's easy for me. Now, I'm gonna move just a little bit back, okay? I'm gonna do the same thing. Now I'm starting to feel some tension in that back foot, but I think I can go back just a little bit more and still get my knee to touch the wall and have my toe and my knee in alignment. Now I can probably go way further if I drop my knee in, but this is about the limit of me going forwards. So I've pre-cut some tape. I'm gonna put that down on that foot, and I know that's my right foot. Then I'm gonna do that on my left foot. I'm gonna start at the wall, bend, that's easy, come to where my other foot was, and I can't even get there, okay? So I know I have to go a little bit closer. That's my limit there. I'm gonna put a piece of tape there, and you can see that there's a difference there. So that's my test to see whereabouts I am. After all these ankle mobilities, you can come back and see if that's changed. You can also do this weekly as you start doing your exercises to see how much you change. Our ankle mobility depends on a couple things, all right? So we have a chain of tissue that goes down the bottom of our foot, behind our calf, all the way up to our hamstrings, all the way up to the back of our neck, okay? So if we want better ankle mobility, we're really gonna focus on the back side to begin with. So if we can release that tissue and get rid of a little bit of that spasm, we should be able to help with our ankle mobility. So we're gonna start with a golf ball. Tennis ball if you have it, golf ball is better. And we're gonna give ourselves a bit of a massage. So you're gonna put the golf ball on the ground, you're gonna step on that golf ball, and you're just gonna roll it around your lower foot, okay? And you're gonna find some spots are probably a little bit more tender, and you're gonna spend a little bit more time in that. If you want, you can stand up, put a bit more pressure. So when we're rolling out our foot, we should do this for probably about a minute or 2 minutes, okay? Spend lots of time, get all that rolled out. We next wanna work on our calf muscles, okay? So if you have a foam roller, you're going to take the foam roller, put it down just above your ankle joint, okay? And ideally, you want all your weight onto that leg. So you're gonna roll up and down, you're gonna turn your toe out, get the outside, turn your toe in, get the inside, okay, up and back. Then, as you can see, I was only doing half of my calf. I'm now gonna come into the middle of my calf and get the upper part. So right down the middle, to the outside, to the inside. If you find a sore spot, spend a little bit more time on that. Again, a minute or 2 minutes helps you release all those muscles before we start our range of motion. Right, now we're gonna do some stretching. So we need to stretch our gastrocnemius, we need to stretch our soleus, and we need to stretch the muscles that come underneath those, that come behind our ankle bone. One attaches to the inside of our foot, and one attaches to our big toe. So we're gonna start with our big toe one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kneel, okay, and tuck our toes under. And we're just gonna do one at a time, all right? So we're just gonna work on that big toe mobility. It's not very comfortable, okay? Don't push too much for pain, but you're just gonna work on getting that big toe to bend up a little bit more, okay? If you're really good at this, then you can get both, and you can just sit here for a long time. This is a yoga move, okay? But again, don't push through pain, just try to get a little bit more range of motion in that big toe so it can come up a bit better. Next, we're gonna work up our calf. So when we're doing a calf stretch, there's two different movements we wanna do. Number one, we're stretching my back leg and my knee is straight. And I wanna just lean all my weight forward. You can see this foot isn't even on the ground, and you should be able to feel a stretch down the back of your leg. When we're stretching, we wanna hold this for 5 deep breaths. Once we're done that, we're then going to bend our knee, lean backwards, and you're gonna feel the stretch move down your leg, okay? So again, holding for 5 deep breaths. Once you're done that on both legs, then we're gonna do it a little bit more dynamic with some movement. So, straight leg, we're gonna rock, okay? Keeping our legs straight, getting into those motions, and just getting some movement now into that new range. Then we're gonna go knee bent, and again, rocking back and forth, getting some movement. Once we're done those, we're gonna come into different angles. So you can see I'm gonna step at different angles and trying to keep my back foot on the ground, but we're gonna try to stretch in different angles. We're then gonna do that with a knee bent as well. And really working all those corners of our ankle joint. To stretch the front of our ankle joint, it's tough, but we're gonna try it and I'll show you. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna tuck that back foot. Okay, you can see I'm tucking my toes under and I'm just leaning down, and I should feel a stretch down the front of my shin here. Okay, so just holding it there. Okay, you might need to rotate your foot in and out just a little bit, but you should feel that stretch down the front of your leg. You can also kneel down, tuck your foot in. Now I'm gonna stretch my left leg, so I'm gonna lean back and just lift that left knee off the ground, okay? And I'm also gonna feel a stretch at the front of my leg like this. Hold for 5 deep breaths and let it relax. To get an even deeper stretch, we want to now be able to drop our heel and really lengthen all the way around from our toes, up behind our heel and up our calf. So we're gonna need a step to do this at. So again, a step at your house is the best to do this. It can be off the side of a curb if you're outside, anywhere that you can drop your heel off of something. So you're going to get your feet onto the side of the stair, drop your heel down, and that's your stretch, okay? Hold for 5 deep breaths. You're also gonna do this with a bent knee. So again, we're gonna go straight leg, we're gonna bend knee, and we're gonna sit down just a little bit. Now I barely have any weight on this leg, it's really just for some balance, okay? But I'm really feeling that stretch down the back of my leg. Holding for 5 deep breaths, okay? Feeling that stretch. Now it's time to actually get our joint moving into some deep positions. So we're gonna grab a chair, you're gonna put your foot up on this stool, and you're going to really lean forwards, really bend that ankle joint, come back. And we're gonna do some mobility work here. So we're gonna go in and out. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get our knee pointing to different angles. So we're gonna drop it in, we're gonna drop it out, really getting that bend in our ankle joint. Next, what we're gonna do is try to hold our arch and keep it in place, and really make sure that that movement's only coming from our ankle joint. So you can see I cupped underneath my foot. I'm gonna hold this part of my midfoot really still, and then I'm gonna come in and back, in and back. Again, trying to get into those corners as well. Really get that ankle joint moving and getting some weight over top of it so your body can get used to having that range of motion. Adding a bit more weight to get that range of motion. So we're gonna go into a deep squat, okay? Now, I can't squat down with my heels without getting off the floor. Hopefully you can, okay? But I can't because I don't have good ankle range of motion. So we're gonna get down into the squat. You can go into a bear squat if you can get down in there. And then we're just gonna work through your ankle joint like this. You might need to put your hands down on the floor, okay, but just really getting some weight over that ankle, okay? You might want to push your hands out like this. You might want to really kind of get over top of that ankle, but really trying to get that ankle joint to bend as much as possible. Once you've done all those exercises, go back to the wall and retest to see if you can get your knee to touch the wall with your toes further back from the wall. Don't be discouraged if you don't get it the first time, okay? Your body has set a range of motion where it feels like it's safe right now. And the whole point of doing the stretching and the range of motion movements is to reset that angle of your ankle that your body thinks is okay. All right, so we have to convince our brain by doing it over and over and over that we can get into that motion. It is safe to get into that motion, and we have to reset what our safe point is, okay? Recognize it's not unsafe at all to get good ankle range of motion, so keep working on this, be diligent with your exercises, do them every day, and you're